Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our presentation about test-taking strategies. This is a presentation sponsored by the School Department, the Student and Student Services Department. And this particular presentation was prepared by Dr. Delinsky herself, alongside with Ivan Rodriguez and G. Hernandez, both tutors at our department. So it's interesting that we're talking about test-taking strategies at college level. When I first looked at this, I said, wait a minute, isn't this a topic we should have dealt with in elementary school, in middle school, and even in high school? But surprisingly enough, here we are in college talking about taking test-taking strategies because, I repeat, surprisingly as it is, many students do not know at this level how to prepare for a test. And it's a good thing that we have a presentation like this and that we can talk about it in this afternoon because I think it's a very important topic. I taught at high school level for many years, and I still have in my mind the explanation that many students gave about what they consider studying. And what they consider studying was simply doing homework. And they would tell you things like, well, how come I got this grade? I did all my homework. Excuse me, the homework is part of the, they have to review and go back to the syllabus and explain to them, homework is part of your grades, the grade policy, but it's not everything. And one of the topics is, one of the rubrics in your grading policy is precisely quizzes and tests and final. And you need to know how to prepare for those activities. And it's not only by doing homework that you prepare for them. So I would like to share some of these strategies that were, as I said before, put together by members of the department. And let's discuss them, and that's it. So yeah, it's not a trial. We are preparing for a test here, and sometimes an exam or a test for that matter, and decide a grade. If you look at our syllabus and syllabi in general, you'll see that sometimes a final exam is 30%, 40% of the grade. So it's a big chunk of a grade for a class. So it's very important if you want to secure a good grade, and more important, if you want to learn, which is the ultimate goal here, I think, or we think in general terms. You should know how to prepare for a quiz, exam, test, whatever. This presentation is divided into into three parts: before the test, during the test, after the test. So let's take a look at what happens before the test. Last minute cramming is not a good idea. It's not a good idea in any activity of life, let alone in preparing for a test. You should start preparing for the test the first day of class. The idea of having the information accumulated, and of course we're talking about ideal conditions here. In a university like ours, we know that most of the students either work or have other activities, and sometimes it's difficult for them to find time to prepare for a test. But this must be a priority. If you're paying money and you are studying and you're taking courses, that should be a priority for you, and this is one of the things to keep in mind. Don't leave everything for the last night before the test. You should start preparing for the very first day of class. Review part of your schedule. Try to form study groups. Study groups, if well implemented, can be very useful in preparing for tests. I mean, a study group is not a place where you go and start telling stories about what you did the week before or what your plans are for the weekend. It's a great way of exchanging information with your classmates and peers and trying to learn from each other and fill out the holes in the subject matter that you may have. And yeah, and of course, you should divide your study time in chunks, in several, instead of a long period and a whole night study. Refer to them or arrange your study sessions in short period of time because you will be less fatigued in that way, and it will be you will retain information better. And we're talking about memory here. Yes, we need to memorize things. I mean, memory is not something of the past. It's many tests require that you memorize things, stuff, concepts. Okay. Continue before the test. Main points of each topic and questions, and try to ask questions about the topics. I remember I had a very good classmate that she would underline or highlight elements from a given lecture, let's say, and then she would turn those into questions and try to, in that very way, try to predict the professor's questions, what the examiner will ask. I mean, this is according to and you get to know your professor, and you get to know that some people pay attention to certain topics, even though in general terms, we're talking about goals and objectives that's what you should, an examination should cover. But you know that your professor's class. So try to think about what the professor would ask, and then try to ask questions based on that, and of course outline your answers once you have them. In other words, a clean sheet of paper with your answers, put them in order, and organize yourself. If there is something that is important to test preparation, is organization. Continue with the before the test aspect. The flashcards. If you're taking a class in which there is a lot of information, a lot of concepts, I don't know, anatomy class, for example. I was a teacher of history for many years. A history class in which there are concepts, in which there are events that you should remember. The flashcards are your great ally here. There are not things of the past. It's a great way to writing your question or your concept on the front of the card, and on the back the answer. And they're extremely useful, especially if you work with another person. Like, for example, let's say that Dr. D here has a set of flashcards, and she shows me the first one, and I see a concept there. I don't know, werewolf 2. And she has the answer on the back. So she will ask me about how you define this, and then according to what the answer I give, she will look at the answer I have on the back of the flashcard, and it will be a great way of getting ready for to retaining the subject matter or the information and getting ready for the test at the same time. So no, flashcards are nothing of the past. They are contemporary. They are here, and they are a great study tool. Right. And of course, you can put them in order. You can put them at random. You can use it in many creative ways. Taking notes, an important part of preparing for the test, and in general for preparing for a subject matter, whatever it is. It takes time and a certain degree of even of style to take accurate notes and to be able to use them in class or in class situation. I was teaching a course last semester. I think it was at Miami Dade College, in which specifically one of the skills to be developed was that of taking notes. And for a person that very bad handwriting is in mind, sometimes the notes become a little incomprehensible. But it's a great skill to have because it leads you to not only writing down concepts and jotting down important elements of a class, I would say, but also because it helps you to abbreviate and to write quickly and use abbreviations that sometimes are only your abbreviations, and that you understand them and you use them in the best possible way. So prepare, take your notes, and rewrite. And rewriting, there's an element in rewriting that is, talk to your peers, talk to your classmates. Oh, I wrote this, what about you? Compare what you have done and how the information, you have collected that information and transformed it into notes. Effective notes, by the way. The study area, it goes without saying, it's like second nature. It's obvious that you need to concentrate when you are studying, and for that you need a location that is suitable for what you're doing. that you have ample supply of everything that you need, writing paper, pens, everything else, that the environment is pleasant. You don't have to be in confined in a hot space or you call a room or something like that. And of course, keep an open mind because studying sometimes can be very frustrating, as any student can tell you, right? Sometimes you're trying to grasp the concept or to come up with something, and you don't understand it. And the easier way there is just shut down your book and say, "Oh, what the hell? I won't think about this anymore," and come with me. No, come on, take your time, take a break, take a walk, come back to what you're doing, and be positive and open-minded about the whole studying process. And keep in mind, you need to identify yourself in each of the three basic learning styles. You can either be a visual learner, as most people are. Okay. A lot of people, I think they say that 80% of people, what people learn is through visual, right, through the eyes. You can be an auditory learner. I haven't found many of those in my teaching career. And you can be also a kinesthetic learner. I think in courses like ours, unless you're taking a lab or something, kinesthetic learning is the least common of the three learning styles. But in some other, I remember I also taught in high school at a vocational school, and vocational here in the United States means job training. So there were students who wanted to become cooks, hairdressers, mechanics, carpenters, and to have kinesthetic abilities there, it's part of what those the preparation for those jobs and activities entail. So, but here we go again. Visual is probably, in our case, the most common of the learning style. So identify yourself with that. And yeah, as I said, if you're a visual learner, you learn better through displays, pictures, diagrams, illustrations, videos, etc. And there are people who think in pictures. If you ask me, I don't know how I think. That of learning in pictures, maybe that's right. Maybe there are people who even learn in colors. I remember a friend of mine who would have colors for every concept, even for proper names. And I asked her many times, what color do you see this? And she always was right when she told me, oh, that is brown, or that is blue, or that is yellow, and things like that. But that's a special ability, I think, a person has. In my case, I wouldn't even know how to describe how I think or how I see things. There are people who are good for auditorium. I know another person who was very, very keen in recalling or remembering the words, the lyrics of songs. If he would hear a song and immediately had the whole lyrics of the song in his mind. And he was a great auditory learner. And of course, as I mentioned before, students in a vocational program are generally good at learning in a kinesthetic style. Study smart, organize. Schedule your study time, review all the classes and classwork and notes, and let's go back to the beginning. This is a task that begins on day one. Do not let material information accumulate. It's very difficult then to break it down into digestible chunks. Take your breaks when you're studying. Don't last minute cramming is not a good idea. Take your breaks, take your short walks, breathe, relax. I love the before there, have an apple, orange, or small salad. You can have I do if you want to. Doesn't matter. It's just the idea of taking things slowly. I mean, not slowly, but in pieces and in chunks that prevent you from being. That allow you to be effective in your study time. And maximize your mind. I love this one because we very seldom talk about these things. Think of a test as an opportunity not only to get an A in this case, because that's what you go for, right? I want to get my A, right? But also a way in which you're gonna show your professor or whoever is giving you the test how much you have learned about stay relaxed, plenty of sleep, avoid caffeine and sugar. I love this part because some of us cannot live without caffeine. We need to drink coffee. So, and if you come from any country in the Caribbean, you're gonna have your portion of sugar there. And of course, maintaining healthy habits. So that contributes to the general test, even though I've seen people that do crazy things and they get good grades. During the test, and this sounds like elementary, right? But you'll be surprised how students do not follow directions. I mean, something as simple apparently as read the directions. Look at what the question is asking. You'll be surprised how many times you have to repeat that in a common examination, a grammar test, for example. Did you look at what the question asked? Oh, no, I didn't realize. No, because you're going such a hurry there, such a fast speed that you are not paying attention to the question itself. So follow directions. And if it is a test in which you have a limited period of time, organize yourself accordingly. You have to plan ahead. And how much time do I have? How many questions do I have to ask? That's very important too. There are many strategies when it comes to taking tests. There are people who are really focused on the easy questions first, and then they go from the easy to the more difficult parts of the test. You can do it like that. You can do it the other way around too. But I think this is a very logical, because in the same way when you answer the things that you find easy and positive, you will be ready for the next challenge because you will be like building your self-esteem on your own there. So I did this one, I did the other one, and now I'm going to face the most difficult question for test. General strategies. Find out if you're penalized for incorrect responses, like for example on the SATs. If you don't know the answer, in the United States, they always recommend, and I assume this is a universal thing, make educated guesses. I think we have all done that at a certain moment in time, even if we don't know an answer. But I believe that this would be the right answer, and that's your educated guess. I don't know how you can be penalized for guessing, but hey, if it is so, avoid guessing. Essay questions are probably the most complex questions you have to get because you have to write, and it's important to outline the information that you're going to give in the essay. You are writing. Organize yourself. If you're writing a 5-paragraph essay, this goes into an introduction. These three topics are going to be in the body of my essay, and this will be my conclusion. So plan ahead and plan yourself when writing your essay. And I cannot emphasize it any more than I do. Review your test. Once you have finished, don't just turn it in and rush for the door. No. Take your time, go over the test, look at the answers, look at the answers you get, obviously, and review your test. Believe it or not, a lot of students do not do that. Something that apparently is elementary. And after the test, if the instructor reviews the exam in class, make sure you attend that particular session. There are professors who do it. I never do that, but that could be. Actually, I prefer to, once I have given the grades, to either bring the test to the class. The class is numerous. There are a lot of people in the class. So to make a general revision of the test, and let's go question by question. Or sometimes if the class is smaller, I can give myself the luxury of talking individually to each student, and you made this mistake, and you should have answered this and that. But that's a session that the students should not miss for the work. That's a very important session because it's the moment to clarify why you made a mistake and how you avoided that mistake, or how well you answered the questions in the even if you are not interested in learning the class, at least you know what the professor would grade you for, and that would help you in the next assessment or evaluation. So, in general terms, you can either be a visual learner, an auditory, or a kinesthetic, and they are not only flashcards but other resources. I think I skipped mnemonics. Wait a minute, there was a moment. I don't know if I skipped that. There was a slide, I can't find it now, in which disappeared for some reason. I don't know where it went. Oh, well, here it is. It's this one. I'm sorry. When we're talking about memorization, I forgot to mention that there are many ways to memorize information, and one of them is the use of mnemonics, or as in Spanish they call it recursos mnemotécnicos. Like, for example, the example here, the names of the Great Lakes, Superior, Huron, Michigan area of Ontario, you can form a word like homes using the initial letters of each lake, and that's a great use of mnemonics here. Resources to make you memorize stuff, they call it. So these are basically some of the important points to take into account when preparing for a final exam, but it applies not only to final exams, it applies to any examination you may have. And to me, the most important thing is plan ahead, organize yourself, divide the information you are supposed to be answering the test in digestible portions, that is, chunks that you can handle. And please don't leave everything for the last minute. And be careful when you're answering questions, and follow the instructions and be organized and plan ahead. That would be the two final pieces of advice I can give. Yeah, practice undoubtedly makes perfect. In the way in which you are able to make these habits become habits, your results should be better, obviously. Questions, comments? Thank you very much. It has been a great audience, and again, have a great evening, people. Bye. Okay. Jose, you can cut the
tape. ¿Cómo se llama eso? Mnemonics.
Mnemonics.
¿Sabes que yo hacía eso hace 35 años y no sabía cómo se
Recursos mnemotécnicos y mnemonics.
I used to do that years ago with the letters, with the first letters, to memorize stuff.
Yeah.
I never knew the meaning for that. Did you?
Mnemonics.
Mnemonics. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So it took me all this time to figure out what. But I was doing, because there are things you have to memorize.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's very interesting.
Yeah.
You start beginning the first letter.
Yeah. And it all depends. I mean, it doesn't apply. You cannot do it in all subjects. You cannot study math like this. You can study subjects that have concepts, names, information, events that you have to remember. But there are other subjects that you just cannot study like this. I mean, algebra, math, you have to practice.
One area that I would have to memorize was the statistical formulas that I always resented, and I still do, because everybody memorizes formulas just for the exam. The moment, you didn't understand anything, just memorize the formulas for the exam. The moment you walk out of the exam, you have to kind of erase them.
Yeah.
So you can learn the new ones. So in that way, I think that I never learned anything about this. Because the person was to do well in the exam and memorize the formulas. Because they didn't give us a college, we have to memorize them. I thought it was such a waste of
Then again, it all depends on how attractive the class or the course is to you. If you like the course and it's important for your future career, you're gonna pay a lot of attention. You're gonna. But if there is a subject that is not incredibly important,
I just didn't like the method of memorization.
Yeah.
I think that it occupied too much space in the brain, and then since it was something that I needed it, but I didn't like it, so I didn't retain it.
It's like it is. I mean, there are certain subjects that you have to get a grade in. That's it.
I know.
You're not interested in learning about them. They are required. So.
I know. But I'm saying now they are going differently. They don't have push for students to memorize so much, because it's not important, you can find the formula anywhere. The idea is how to use it, not to memorize, how to use statistics.
Yeah, but that depends on the subject, because,
Well, I'm talking about statistics.
yeah, because they are, I don't know, I always think of a medical doctor. I mean, in his or his or her first year, he has to get anatomy, and he has to memorize every single part of the will, every bone, every muscle, everything. And there's no substitute for that. You have to know that, you have to memorize it. There's no way.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
But in this case, I'm talking about, I think it's wasteful.
Medical student. Yeah. In the end, you adapt all this to your particular situation. I've had classmates who were incredibly well organized, and I learned a lot from that. I mean, taking and highlighting it and getting the main idea. Those are very useful resources.
I love the notes, I like the cards, the different color cards, writing things down, help me memorize things, or, remember things. Well, because I'm a visual, like most people are visual, so writing it down, I kind of remember it.
Actually, when I was a high school student, I was teaching history, I realized that we had so many concepts during the semester, throughout the semester, and I remember that we would have like 70 concepts. So I, and he concepts to carry. I told the students, if you make a set of flashcards or something similar, in which you have the 70 concepts and the definitions, I'll give you extra credit. They will kill themselves and come up with the 70 concepts and that. Oh, the bar is here that I have my set of flashcards. And not surprisingly, the students who did it generally got good grades. The students who didn't, and not only they lost the extra credit, but also the results of the final.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.